This video is sponsored by the Design Mechanism, the makers of Mythras. Mythras is a registered trademark of the Design Mechanism Inc., used with permission, all rights reserved. Hello, we are here. Yeah. Oh, not a bit of technical difficulties, but also a bit of, oh my giddy aunt, I'm going to have to rush home because I forgot I was doing this in 45 minutes from work. But I'm here and I've got a hot cup of coffee and it began to rain just as I got in. So I was lucky then, but yeah. And then for some unknown reason, oh no, Chugs is on the alcohol. Things will only get worse now. It's downhill all the way. Yes.
Whenever I role play with these lot, I need alcohol.
Cool. Yeah. So and then I've got an issue with Roll20 and Chrome. Every time I go in, it just says forbidden, and so I had to boot up Firefox.
Crappy Fox.
I know. I really like Chrome as well. I'm really disappointed that it's not running. Anyway, then I had to change all OBS Live settings to ensure that everything was on. But we are here, and we are playing Mythras, which is a rule set based on the percentile dice, and it's very fun to play. And the wonderful thing about Mythras is that the rules can cross over various campaigns and settings and scenarios. So although on a Saturday we play it in the fantasy setting, tonight for the final episode of White Death we are actually playing in 1980, and the fearless, the brave, the unconscious agents are actually battling to explore a deserted Russian research station in the Arctic, which is currently on an ice floe, slowly drifting down and melting. So the party are at a very important point that I'm about to recap in a while, but to start off with, I'll allow the players an opportunity to say who they are and who they will be playing tonight. We always go to the same person, and I always get told off for mentioning his name, so I'm just going to zoom in on his character sheet. There you go.
Hi guys, I'm Chuck Rugger. The character that I'm playing is called Grayson Faraday. He's been designated as team lead on this assignment. He joined the agency way back in the 1970s as an analyst before being promoted to a field agent later on. He's pretty old now, to be honest with you. He's about done. He's sort of like coming up to his late 40s. He's looking at getting out. He's looking at retiring. He's a people person. He's good with people and working out what's happening. He's also fluent in several languages, German and Russian. And I shall pass on to Mr. Pickles, I think.
Hi guys, I'm Mr. Pickles, and I play our team's military tough guy. He's all about killing things. He's tough, hard-bitten. He acts as the muscle on many of the missions he goes on, but he's also known for his exemplary undercover work, and that's mostly because he doesn't talk much, he doesn't stand out, he observes a fair amount, and he's also very skilled with demolitions. He's set up quite a few chunks of explosives on this mission so far, hoping that might come out effectively. He's not concerned with the finer aspects of his operations generally. He's just an efficient killer, tough, parachuting, coming from the Parachute Regiment 2nd Battalion in Northern Ireland. And that is Tar, Richard Tar. Pass it on to Medivac.
Why, thank you, Mr. Pickles. Hi, everybody. I'm Medivac, and I play Caroline Matheson. She's a late 20s lady from Chicago. She's a biochemist. She's very good at her job. She's always smartly dressed, has long brown hair, just shy of 6 feet, which is quite tall. She's always dressed in as best as she can. She likes to take pride in her appearance. And she can come across as being a little bit arrogant, and sometimes a little bit rude, but she doesn't suffer fools lightly. She's written various papers in the field. She's also risen very fast through the ranks of the agency, and a lot of people think this is due to her father, but it's not. She's done it on her own back, and she's worked damn hard for that. She's got to prove it. She feels really at home in a lab coat with a patisserie dish, just poking away and looking through a microscope. She does have a gun. She doesn't like to use it, but doesn't mean she doesn't know how to use it. And with that, I shall pass on to Longshanks.
Thank you very much, Medivac. Hi guys, my name is Longshanks EPG, and tonight I'm playing a character called Desmond Flint. He was recruited straight out of the Marines after being in Vietnam for a little while into the agency, where he very quickly realised that computers and technology was the way to go. So he set about becoming an expert in that field. And the role he plays in this mission is exactly that. He is mobile tech support. If the computer's broken, he can fix it. And that's not by pressing on and off repeatedly, although that does help sometimes. As his background suggests, he's also a bit of a dab hand with a rifle. And in a previous mission, he did drop a polar bear that was attacking Tar with one shot. So yeah, that helps. And I will pass it on to our GM, Inwils.
I always thought, did Tar
wrestled him, but I shot him.
Yeah, I only shot off my gun. Like, I got a critical hit, but I didn't do enough damage to like get through. I just wanted to make noise so that other people would start shooting.
So yes, yeah, I remember now. Yeah. So
and then Faraday emptied the clip.
I don't want to brag, but Faraday killed him.
Faraday killed him, of course. Now, what I thought I would do to start off this, because is do a bit of a sketch for you. Because last week we went into almost like theatre of the mind, sort of like view as you went down into the space, into the metal container, and I didn't want to sort of like we went to, in order to keep the suspense going, you sort of like drop down. So just for people who are watching, the 4 agents parachuted in to the research station. They have probably drawn the conclusion that the research station was something to do with pathogens, something to do with poisons, something like that. They dropped an attacking previous member of the research party, the Russian research party, and killed him quite nicely. They found dead bodies in the latrines, a complete mess in barracks, and a generator that was completely taken to bits. Absolutely taken to bits. And it was while they were out and about on the research station and looking around that Tar saw a very reptilian-like creatures taking the satellite dish away. The party decided, after a previous scouting mission, I think we call it, decided to hop on snowmobiles and, using their drive skills, headed off and came over a crest and then found a sort of like an entrance to a metal bulky device, probably various things called it, but mainly some kind of submarine perhaps. The party then went down and started to explore, and the first thing that happened was that they suddenly noticed that the heat was a lot warmer down here, almost like tropical, and they actually discarded their cold weather gear because there's been a blizzard blowing up above for the majority of the time they're here, and they headed off down the ladders and round the almost like circular ship, and it had one of those grated walkways, so there was nothing underneath them apart from the curve of the ship, and they just sort of like went down there. Now they came across, and I'm going to do a quick sketch for you. Are you all on my page?
At the moment, all right, it's blank now.
Yeah. Okay then. So you might have to zoom.
3D.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's going to be bird's eye view. High life in pain. So this is the chute that you came down. Okay, and basically the ship sort of like goes like that, and you could see it turning off the other way. Yeah, it was more of a perfect circle. I think you came across something down here.
There was a door on the right-hand side.
Yeah. Okay.
Which
And
had a whole
Southeast.
load of other lizard men in
that is correct. Yeah. So there was a room off here that had sort of like a whole load of tubes in. If you remember, I'm just quickly drawing that.
20 metre by 20 metre.
Yeah. And they seem to have a whole load of these creatures in that I showed you look like this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You then continued round, and sort of like here, there was a set of a platform that went out into the middle, and this middle area had almost like a huge cylinder in it with lights going up, and you saw various drones and some of these lizard men. They seem to be at work at something. You then
I think we noticed parts from the drift station.
Yeah, that is correct. You saw little bits. I think somebody did a really good perception roll or something like that. You then came across a door here, and this is the door that you went into, and you saw a head on a table that seemed to be connected up to a whole load of wires. And when you got close to it in true science fiction style, it's sort of like its eyes sort of boom and opened up. Everybody made willpower checks, and I think it just got too much for Faraday, who collapsed unconscious.
I think I slipped on some snow, actually.
Yeah, and you sort of like fell. Matheson ran to his aid, I think, and at that point, something came through the door. I think that was the case.
Yeah.
Tar had his M16. Is that right? Yeah. M16 leveled off it, and with a couple of shots, he took the thing down. Matheson, you then shouted to Flint to get the door locked. Flint moved over to the side of the door. Tar then went quite berserk and started to hack away at the head with his combat knife. The person was alive who kept saying, "Save her, save her, I hear her screaming, ah," like that.
In a Russian accent.
Yes, and then yes, it was in a Russian accent, and sort of like Tar sort of like bashed it, and then just as Flint got to the door, after he closed it, and then that is when you heard footsteps or movement on the outside of the door. Okay.
I have a theory. Faraday was a fan of a 1970s American group called the Talking Heads, and that's why he fainted. There we go.
So yeah, so that's just a quick view. I'm not using it for tactical purposes, so please do not start saying I'll put my character really sort of like down here and sort of like so. It's just using it for some kind of orientation.
Occasionally, if we.
I'm going to leave it like that.
Yeah. It's just so that I know how far round we would be.
Yeah. The only other thing to remind you is that obviously because you're firing guns, if you're going into hand-to-hand combat, then normal parrying rules come into play via unarmed. Just remember that if somebody shoots at you, you can take the take cover proactive action. Okay, so it takes an action just as usual, but there must be something nearby to get into cover. And just unlike evade, it doesn't actually leave you prone. You are then behind it, so it's a bit like ducking back. If on the sheet that I gave you, it's the final action, which is the same. And don't forget things like sneak peek and steady weapon. And for anybody who's got an automatic rifle, switch fire mode can often be very exciting. Okay then, so we're going to get straight into it without any messing about or anything. The action will start. Flint, you're by the door. Matheson, you're with Faraday, and you've already shouted to Flint to lock the door. And Tar, you're over by the table, just sort of like kicking off this thing. Faraday, you're unconscious still.
I am indeed.
Okay then, so what we're going to do, in order to get some kind of... I've got the turn order still. You should be able to see it now.
We're not on weaponized because we're on a different layer now. But we've got the turn order, but we just got the reptile that's going 17.
All right then. It might.
We don't have any of our.
It might be because you're not actually on.
Yeah, I don't know whether or not if you refresh it, it might come back on.
Yeah, I can't. Well, hang on. I actually know. I can see your thing. So just so you know, Faraday, you're at 21. Tar, you're at 17. Matheson, you're at 16. Flint, you're at 9. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to wipe it all. Somebody remember 1, 1, 2.
1, 2. Like 12.
Yeah. Okay then. So let me just add you again. Can you see it now?
Yeah,
I've got Faraday.
Faraday 0. So I can.
Who are we missing?
Tar.
Okay. I might have to put them in, don't worry. Let me just stick Tar down here because I need to. Okay, so you should be able to pop your scores in. Let's put Reptar in.
Wasn't Flint at 9 because he was surprised by the first?
He is, yeah.
Does that still continue, or doesn't that?
To the end of the round.
Right.
So
sorry.
we're still on round 1, combat turn 2. So you should.
You want us to
Can
put
you?
in the numbers we already had, not re-roll it?
Yeah, just add the ones that you already had beforehand. Brilliant, thank you.
I just want to make sure before I.
And then I can sort
I
of like.
was 9, wasn't I?
I can't add mine for some reason.
You need to select your token.
Yeah,
I can't select my token.
Hang on, just 1 second then. Who's that? We should be able to do it now. It's just that it had lost its. Can you do yours, Tart? Yeah. I thought Flint was 9. I thought you were 21. Faraday.
Okay.
Yeah, because the reptile was here on 17, but I think Tar, you were above him like that. Have you got yours, Matheson?
Yep, it's going to 0 every time I input 16.
Okay then. I can put it in.
Oh no, it's done it this time. It's done it.
No, that was me, I think.
Oh, is it you? Okay.
Yeah. Okay then. Yeah, so we're coming up to combat turn 2. I think what we might do is that we might, because I'm not too sure whether or not, because the last round that we had, people were doing running and things like that rather than anything else. So I think what we're going to do is start today's adventure going straight into combat round 2. So yeah, Flint's surprise will be off. So this is combat round 2, turn 1. So your action points will be back up to normal. Okay, then Faraday, you're still out with the fairies until somebody does something significant with you. So I'll just put that on, but we know you're out there for some unknown reason. Right, okay then, so this is round 2, combat turn 1. Faraday's out, so Flint, you are next up.
Flint, having got the door closed, is going to try and get it locked. So he wants to try and hack it to lock it.
Okay then, so you're not really familiar with any of the ships. It doesn't look like it's anything that you're really familiar with, but you can still do a roll for me to see whether or not you lock it.
Do you want an electronics or a computers or mechanic?
It's completely up to you. If you're using electronics, it means that you're taking the panel off and doing something internally. That's absolutely fine if that's what you want to do. I always think it's a little bit interesting. So I locked the door. I'm sure Tar would have just switched his rifle.
I was going to say turned his rifle.
Door open.
Can I just say that I have visions of Moria, and when the cave troll comes and Gandalf says, "Do not let ourselves get shut in." Yeah, so Flint is busy trying to organise the door and trying to get it so it's locked. Do you wish to use any luck points are replenished, by the way? Do you wish to use luck points or not?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, cool. Tar, you're up.
I think what I'm about to ask is 2 actions, but
Yeah, go for it.
I don't know if like my M16 has a sling. I want to put my combat knife away and equip myself with my M16.
Yeah, you can probably do that in an action, and that's not a problem. I am just now, just so you know, going to roll my initiative of the new person, because I just need to make sure. Oh yes, I remember their initiative modifier is huge, isn't it? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay then. Yeah. So just after 17, the door slips open. Faraday, what's your initiative bonus?
My initiative bonus is 12.
12. Okay then. And this is happening after 17 for this round, because obviously it couldn't do anything until then. You sort of like Flint is quite trying desperately to lock the door, but he's obviously not familiar with alien or submarine technology, and he's going around and he doesn't get it locked at all, and the door goes and opens, and there's one of these huge reptilian things stood in the doorway. And Matheson, you're on 16.
I'm assuming I will see the door open, so I'm going to be still trying to bring Faraday round by, I've done my first aid checks. I'm just trying to concentrate on that. But I'm also, at the same time, just trying to slip my gun out of its holster, if possible.
Okay, so you sort of like, what kind of, is it a pistol?
It's just a
9mm. Yeah, so you sort of like slip it out, and we'll move straight back up to the top, and we'll go on to combat round 2, turn 2. And the lizard thing, let me just roll a perception check for you.
One of those things on its hand again.
Yeah. Perception. My perception is 70. I get a 79, so it actually doesn't see you, Flint, but by the door, but it does see Tar, Faraday, and Matheson, and it uses its action to move up to Faraday and Matheson. So now Matheson, you're sort of like bent over with a thing, and it just sort of like comes lumbering to you with that sort of like plasma thing on its arm, and it's sort of like stood there. Faraday, you need to roll for me, please, a willpower check. Do you wish to look it?
Yeah, go on, I will.
Okay then, so that would be 79 out of 84, won't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you will come round at the end of this action. So you're actually around on 21. So you come around. But so your next action, though, will be at the end when we do the second pass. So Faraday, Reptile gone, Faraday gone. Flint, you're up next.
Flint is he's going to try and get behind this thing, and he wants to try and mash it with the bottle.
I'm going to try to get
behind it and bash it.
Okay then, so you will move up to it. So that would be your move to get up to it. And Tar, we come to you on 17.
I am going to point my M16 at this bad boy and blast away.
Yeah, so just to let everybody know in the chat, there's no silencers on their weapons. So currently, yeah, go for it. So
we've already made lots of noise.
Yes, there's been no silencers on your weapons since you arrived.
Oh, is that the royal we?
Yeah, that is a hit. So hang on a minute, I just need to get my cards out. So this creature's literally got nowhere to take cover at. Because it can't sort of like, unless it sort of like holds up Matheson as some kind of defense, but it won't. It seems to be intent on bearing down on Matheson and Faraday, and then you hit. So I need special hit location damage.
I'm going to use my favorite special with gun, drop foe.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. And a D20 for the hit location is a 6.
And I think I get... Is it endurance that I need to use? Yeah.
Yes.
Let me see if I get my drop foe thing. My endurance is 90%. I get a 5. So... Sorry, there was a fly. I got it. There's now a squashed fire. I need to clean my hands. So I succeed. So therefore, I don't get dropped. What's 5? Did you say?
6.
6. That's its left leg.
All right, and then here's my damage.
Yeah, do some damage. Ooh.
Yeah.
Left leg, wasn't it? Let me just.
Yeah, only 4 points.
You make a bit of a hole in its sort of like reptilian hide, and you notice there's a bit of classic greens coloured blood coming out as you sort of like whack it in and fire a shot. And Matheson, we're to you.
Matheson's seen this huge monstrosity coming towards her. Well, she's seen Faraday sort of move a little bit, so she's going to shoot straight up at this thing. Her eyes are wild and wide, and she's just, what the hell?
Does she say that?
What the hell?
What the hell?
And she's going to fire.
Help me, Penelope Pitstop.
Only Matheson can save us now.
9mm, bang, go.
Bang, where are we?
High
Where's-
explosive rounds?
No, just standard.
Ricochet, rubber ricochet? No, wrong game. That's Judge.
Rubber ricochet.
That's Judge Dredd, isn't it?
Yes. Double whammy.
Roll that. Oh, yes. Fires after with small arms fire. It sounds a little bit like Aliens 2. This looks like some small arms fire here.
Hit location special.
Special hit location damage.
Duck back is going to be her special.
A duck back. Yeah, I don't. Do I? I'm just trying to find it on my.
It's literally I just dive back into cover. So I'm going to move around the back of this table once I've fired.
Okay, allows the shooter to immediately duck back into cover without needing to wait for the next turn to use the take cover action. The character must be already standing or crouching adjacent to some form. Yeah, so you're now in cover as you duck back. I need hit location and then damage. Nice special. 12 goes into its chest as you crouch down and fire a shot straight up into his chest. Small arms fire. Wow.
That's some damage.
You notice Tar looks at his carbine, his M16 carbine. He's like, well, stuff this. I'm going that's how many points? Like 7. That's a nice shot. Yeah, you sort of like aim up and sort of like fire straight up, probably up underneath the rib cage of the reptile, and you notice that it penetrates the sort of like the carapace of it and through the chitin and sort of like like that, and green blood, and you sort of like roll round to the side of the table. Yeah. So we're now coming up to combat round. We're still round 2, but we're at turn 3 now. To anybody who has still got actions. I certainly do. So this. Okay, then let's think. Faraday's still on the floor, so you probably look quite dead to it. It's probably can see Matheson's just sort of like dive behind cover, but Tar, you are a prime opportune attack. So what it will do is that it will move into combat with you using its second action point of round 2, and then so it's right next to you now. Tar, you can fire at point blank range, which is easier to hit if you do desire. And we move to you, Faraday, who's coming out of your stupor.
Okay, so Faraday sort of like comes round and starts to sort of like sit up, shaking his head as he does so. Looks around, sees the large lizard thing. So almost does one of those things, you know, when you sort of like see something and it shocks you, and you sort of like start scooting back.
Yeah, and sort of
distance until he sort of like hits into a cabinet or whatever. That's behind.
Yeah, that action that won't take your full action up, because you Matheson, I think, was actually up against that with you in any case. So.
Okay, and then once he's done that, he's then going to draw his pistol from his holster.
Okay, so you draw your 9mm, and we're over to Flint. So you started to move towards the wet reptile. Tar and Matheson got shots out, and just as you approached him and got a little bit closer, Matheson ran out the way. You see Faraday draw his pistol, and you see this lizard turn on to Tar and sort of like move towards him. What would you like to do, Flint? If you got action.
I don't think I've got actions because I've done the wall widget, and then I've moved, so that's my 2, I think.
Okay then.
If the wall widget counts.
Tar, have you got any actions left?
Tar does have 3 action points per round.
Oh,
so
nice.
My final action to shoot this creature. I'm gonna hopefully make it dead.
Okay, so this, because you're actually at close range, I'm going to say you can use a hit location, choose location as a non-critical effect. He's virtually not moving, so that's fine, but your shot now is going to be, rather than standard, it will be easy, because this huge thing is right in front of you. I mean, go for it.
Makes sense. Here's my roll.
Yeah, and you sort of like set one off. It seems to be totally intent and getting to you. So you'll have special hit location damage.
I'm going to go with my classic. I'm not choosing location. I'm going drop foe.
Okay, then.
Down.
So here's... so let me just roll that. 74, which means it succeeds. So I need... so it's not dropped down. I need... 20. He takes it out in the head.
Oh, 1 point of damage.
Yeah.
Dude, you got a +1.
Ooh.
Yeah, a big old 5.
An automatic pistol.
Yeah. So you sort of like, as it comes towards you, its head sort of like down coming towards you, you swing your carbine off and just sort of like fire your shots straight into its head. That's Tar. Matheson, do you have anything left?
She does, and she is going to, if possible, just look over and take a shot.
Yeah, so you'll be firing from cover.
Into melee.
Yeah.
Works with a spiritual
Like
weapon.
Hasbro.
So yeah, she's
But
going to.
unfortunately, 1 bullet can kill, rather than his spear.
Where's
Not my
my
bullets.
So yeah, shoot away.
44?
Yeah, so you shoot out into this quite big reptile that is out there. So you manage to hit it. So I need special hit location and damage.
Special I want to use is pin down if possible.
Okay.
So, and hit location will be 1.
Hang on, let me just roll my my willpower here so I can see what I'm going to be doing. 50, 37, I'm fine. So 1. Yeah, you hit it. No, you hit its tail. Nice one.
Oh, cool. Damage wise, 5.
5. Keep an eye on your bullets, people.
I am indeed, yes.
5. Okay then. So that's the end of combat turn 3. I've still got actions left. So I sort of like rake my plasma knife, for want of a better word, out, plasma claw out towards you, Tar. You can make an evade roll if you wish, or you can parry it with your weapon using unarmed combat. It's completely up to you which one you do, but I have to roll to see whether or not I hit first. My skill in this is 142. No, it's not. I can't find. 70. 26. Yeah.
I would need an action, correct?
You certainly would, yes.
Could I use a luck point to buy an action to parry?
Yes, you can if you wish.
I would like to.
I'm at a normal.
I'm using my my M16, I presume, to.
Yeah, so but you use unarmed combat to parry with it, not your.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's how we did it with the polar bear. Here we go.
Yes, you managed to parry. What's the size of your M16?
It doesn't.
The medium.
Medium.
I'm guessing it would be medium.
I would have said so. I don't
Yeah.
know what it gives sizes on
Yeah.
the.
Yeah, so it's got a medium claw as well as it rakes across. So I think medium. Does it? I never can remember these. Does it stop half damage or all damage if it's the same?
I think it's all damage, isn't it? I don't have because I'm not on the thing. But I think the rules are different in this, aren't they? Than
well, this is just basically. I just need to. It follows normal parrying rules. That's what it does. But I always forget the actual. Right. Attacking weapon medium. Defending weapon. Yes, it stops all of it. So yeah, let me just roll some damage, just so we know how much it stops, so you can all get worried a little bit later on. So yeah, it stops all the damage, which would have been a grand total of 11 points of damage as it thing, but it sort of like hits the carbine. It would have hit you in your 18 if you're interested, but you block the shot. You'd probably sort of like parry it just below the creature's arm, and you know, so you sort of like get the hilt up. And Faraday, you're next if you've got any actions left.
I have 2 actions, but one of the actions I was out of action for. So I don't know whether or not that counts.
Yeah, so you would have lost that first one coming round.
I only have 2.
Yeah. You only have what, sorry?
I only have 2, so I'm done.
All right, got you. Okay, then. And anybody else with any actions left?
Nope.
Okay, brilliant. So we are going to go into combat round 3. Just to let you know, due to your training, your fatigue will not come into effect, because it's taken into account that you can, you know, you're used to this sort of like aggro, etc. As we come into combat round 3, turn 1, and it's reptile first. So the reptile sort of like swipes with this thing at you, Tar, and you sort of like block it, and it pulls its claw back like that, as if it's going to sort of like thump you right in the face, and the claw opens up, and this almost like plasma bolt goes like that out straight into you. Well, it might come into you, it might not. We will see. Yes, I get a 3, so I've got a crit. So you can use an action up to try to take cover. There's cover around. That would mean you've taken up an action, and you would dive out the way into cover. If you want to do a proactive action there. Alternatively, of course, you cannot take any action and just take it like a man.
Look points are making me go.
Oh yes, you can do that. You can use a luck point. Yeah, good point. You can use a luck point and make me re-roll it.
I'm going to do that.
Okay.
I'm going to use the last luck point to make you re-roll. No
Cool.
more luck for me.
Okay then. So here's my re-roll. 19. I still hit, but it's not a crit. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to use that action point then, I guess, to still try and evade, if I may.
Okay. Yeah. So that will be your evade skill.
Pow.
Yeah, and it sort of like pulls it back, and it shimmers for a while, and it probably lets out one that you managed to just sort of like duck out the way, as that was your luck point, and then it turns around again and goes bang, and you sort of like dive behind the cover, and you notice that this plasma bolt goes shooting past you and whacks into one of the sides, leaving a sort of like a burnt mark on the metal, something that you're probably glad didn't actually come into contact with you. And we are up to you, Faraday.
Faraday's going to bring up his. He's already got his pistol aimed at this thing, and he's sort of like waiting for an opportune moment that he can see a shot and he's going to fire.
Fire away then.
He's not very good at this. I got a 29 out of 66.
Oh yes, it just came. Yeah, that's a hit. I don't know this is coming because I'm just firing plasma bolts at Tar. So you need you need special hit location damage.
Okay, so I'm going to do marksman as my.
Okay, so that permits you to move the hit location struck by a shot by 1 step.
Yeah.
16 is his right arm, so you can go to chest or you can go to abdomen.
I can't go to head.
No, because it's not adjacent. Yeah.
I'm going to go to.
His chest has been hit before. Yeah.
Okay, so but he'll probably aim there as well because it's sort of like central mass, and with all the sort of like grappling going, he's going to go for the biggest target that he can. So he's going to go for the chest. Damage is 1d6 plus 1 for 6 points of damage.
In the chest, yeah.
In the back, where it's
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, so you sort of like let off. Is it a 9mm?
9mm.
Yeah, you sort of like send off a shot that sort of like hits the creature in the back and it goes like that as it turns around. And Flint, you're up.
Flint is also going to open fire and shoot with his M6. Oh no, he's got Reggie's M6. I can't remember if I already did my M16.
I didn't think you had any weapon out.
No, okay. So seeing this creature turning around, he's going to ready his M16 and if possible shoot. If not, then that's fine.
No, I think you sort of like been moving so you can ready it and then shoot next turn. Tar, you're up. So you're behind cover now and this thing is sort of like it just tried to blast you. You dived to cover. You can fire from cover if you wish. You also see Faraday release a bullet from his 9mm into the back of this creature.
All right. I think I'm going to change up my special this time around, but I'm going to attack.
Okay. Attack away.
Pow. Aha.
Nice. Okay then. So you will have 2 crits and hit location and special. So which crits are you going to do?
Well, now I can do where is it? I can choose location with as a critical, can't I?
Well, you can because you're in such close range. You can do that in any case, but you can also bypass armor if you wish, and you can hit. So you could bypass armor and choose location if you wish.
I think I will do that.
You could disarm a yeah.
I want to go for the chest if I can.
Okay. Yeah. So choose location and bypass armor. So all I need from you, Mr. Tar,
a damage roll of 1
is your damage roll.
Pow.
5. So that goes straight off his chest. Because all those points, he only had 1 point left in that. And his
right on the button.
Yeah, his endurance is 90 and he gets a 90, so he's still up and in action, but he's got quite a serious wound onto his. I often wonder where do serious wounds like oh, hang on. No, it's a serious wound. Yeah, so he can't actually attack or anything. So you just sort of like fired it off, and it's sort of like gone into him, and he's not unconscious because if it had failed his roll, he would have been unconscious. But he also, I need to roll a 1d3 at this point. Okay, so he's now got 2 turns that he can't do anything. So where was that? Matheson, you're next as you pop up from behind.
So Matheson is going to again loose a shot into this monstrosity, which will be small arms. There we go. Thank you. Oh.
Yeah, and you sort of like, unless you wish to use luck on it.
Do you know, I will use a point of luck because she's only 5 foot away or 3 foot away.
Okay, then. So that I need hit the location and some damage.
Okay, she's going to use duck back because she's not seen the shot hitting him. I should know what's happened at the front of him. So she can duck back location. Damage will be...
yeah, that's it. Hit location first.
14.
14's on his chest.
And your damage is going to be 2.
2. That puts it down to that, which means I need to roll this again. And mine is now hard. No, that still work as you pop another shot out. It seems to be bleeding very heavily now on its that's -6. Yeah, it looks quite similar. It looks like it's slowly falling to bits, and what I'm going to say now is all of you take a shot off your ammo, because in the next turn it can't do anything. So you'll probably release fury from your weapons, and so like go just sort of like, and then it probably just rocks for a while, and then sort of like slumps down onto the floor, maybe squashing the head underneath it as it sort of like slums down.
Once it hits the floor, Matheson's going to shout, "Lock that bloody door!"
In
an accent.
It's at that point that you notice that the room has gone more of a red colour, and there's definitely going off.
We need to get out of here as soon as we can.
Faraday's going to pull himself up, and he'll say, you get to the door. Keep us covered."
Will do. Tar's going to make his way over there.
Okay, cool.
Feel ready?
What the fuck was that head?
It seems they've found a way to reanimate a corpse. You know, like that old film where well, anyway, it's used by electrical impulses going to the brain to keep it more active. But I don't know how it could talk without it had no lungs. It's strange.
Do you want to actually have a closer look at the head, Matheson?
I will do it if I have time. I'm more panicking about getting out of here, but she will have a quick.
It's underneath the alien.
Yeah, you can probably go and have a look at it. So you can roll your biology. Yeah. What's Flint doing at this point? He's got his M16 out.
He's got his M16 out. He's going to flick it onto burst fire, and then he's going to look and say, "We need to get out of here fast. Ready to go when you are." And then he'll move to the door to help Tar give cover on the door, because he's imagining these lizard things are going to be starting to swarm out corridors and stuff towards us.
So Tar's in the doorway.
So he will stand behind, sort of like, so he's got his back to the door, Tar to his left, ready to sort of like dart out and provide covering fire.
You're staying in the room though.
Yes. Yes.
Okay then. So Tar, you've got point on the door. Matheson, when you roll and sort of like have a look at it, you just sort of like have a quick look, It definitely seems to be some rather than lungs or airflow stimulating the vocal cords to get the sound. It seems to be done purely by electronic impulses. So rather than air vibrating them to get the different voices, it looks like there's actually electrical impulses that are vibrating them to such a stage that it could talk. You do notice that it's quite badly beaten up, yet there's brain fluid leaking from it in several ways. Whatever it is, a lot of the cables have disconnected from it now, and it's definitely dead.
Yeah,
if it was ever alive before.
Is there
He's going to sort of like look away as Matheson's sort of like examining the head, and he's going to say, "That's bloody Petruskin."
Yeah, the man he said was on the video?
The one who actually went down the hatch.
Tar, roll a perception check for me, please. Yeah, you can hear something coming from south. It's obviously not. You can't see anything because of the curvature, but you can actually hear something. It seems to be approaching quite at speed, rather than anything else.
Is there anything on this table that I can take? Something small that might look important, or what I think might look important, just to have some kind of evidence of what's going on here if we ever do get out of here.
Yeah, so you can go over to the table, roll your perception. And while Matheson's looking at the table, Tar, you notice around the corner, lumbering at quite a speed, appears another one of these lizards. It seems to be almost like ready for some kind of action. It definitely doesn't look like it's surprised or anything like that. Okay, guys, you need to roll your initiatives.
I rolled a 1 on my initiative, and my bonus is a 15.
Nice.
Ooh.
I rolled a 10 on mine, and my bonus is 14.
Boo.
Let's just let's do Matheson and Faraday. What's your initiative bonus?
Mine's 12.
Mine is 14.
Okay, so we're like that as we come around. Yeah, so Matheson, you're over by the table searching around for something important. Flint, you're round to one side but out of the doorway. Tar, you're right at the doorway as the creature comes round, sort of like dead on its round of 24 when it does some movement. I'm just going to put something on so you can sort of like see roughly where it's coming. So it's moving round, and it comes round the corner, and it seems to be running, and the first thing that it's taking its action to actually blast. Okay, and then it'll take future actions to run if it wants to continue. But from that distance, it can see you in the core. You do have some cover for it, so it will be a hard roll for me when this comes off. But it sort of like comes round as if it's expecting, as if it almost like it knows that you are there. And as it comes round, it just releases its brings up its claw, opens it, and you just see that yellow, the blue plasma thing growing. It goes like that as it fires it out at you. My skill, I think, is 70, and I get a 47, and it sort of like comes straight towards you. What would you like to do?
Use my evade to duck back.
Okay then, cool. Duck back away. Any luck left?
I have no luck.
Okay then.
I'm the bird.
So you try to duck out the way as it comes round, but it hits you square in the 5.
Left leg.
Left leg. It does 7 points of damage to your leg.
That puts me at -1.
-1, so I need an endurance check.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so it comes around, it sort of goes, and it hits your leg, and you sort of like not expecting that at all, and it sort of like sears through your leg with terrific pain, and you literally collapse prone onto the floor. And we
Unconscious?
say again. So,
Is that unconscious?
am I? How badly was it? Sorry.
-1.
So you've got. It was in your leg, wasn't it?
Correct.
Yeah. So you just fall prone. If it was in your chest, abdomen, or head, and you failed to roll, then you would be unconscious. Okay, but because it's in your leg just sort of like gives way. Sorry, what's that?
I just said good to know. Thank you.
Yeah. So you're now I put the wrong little icon. You're still in the doorway. You're not unconscious. You're now prone, and that's on 24. Flint, you hear this plasma shot, and you also see Tar get shot in the leg and go down. What would you like to do?
Flint wants to. He's going to grab hold of Tar's harness and he wants to yank him back fully into the room.
Okay, then make a brawn roll for me, please. This would be one-handed because you've still got your weapons out. Yeah, so it's going to be like hard. So you tried.
Use my luck point to reverse that.
Yeah, you can. So you grab hold of him, give him one yank, and then nothing happens. You give an almighty yank, and Tar, you get dragged into the room. You're still prone, and that's
and
it.
Then he'll use his free action to call out, Matheson, Tar's down.
And that brings us to you, Matheson. So you're searching the table for anything useful. You hear the plasma shot. You hear Flint say, Tar's down. What would you like to do?
As soon as she hears that, she whips her head round, looks and sees what's going on, grabs her first aid kit, which is still out. It'll be on the floor by where Faraday was. She picks it up and just rushes as quick as she can.
Okay then, so you probably got a couple of actions worth there. So use 2 of them. So when we come up for once you've used 2 actions, then you'll be able to do something. Faraday, you're up. You see that Matheson has started to gather together the first aid kit. You've heard Flint's call. You can see Tar's down. You're probably a bit cross because people are still in the room as well.
Yeah, he's rushing to the door and he's taking the position where Tar was.
So Tar was in the doorway to look out.
Sorry, he's in the doorway, but he's on our side. He hasn't gone across yet. He's waiting until his next action to go out and fire.
Okay.
When he gets there, he wants to sort of like kneel down in the doorway on one knee. So when he comes around to fire, he's going to be lower.
Okay. So
Tar went out.
Okay, so just so you know, Faraday, you notice something a little bit unusual at the present moment in time, because the door technically should have shut, but it's not. It seems to be open. There's still this red light and this siren going off, and that brings us to you, Tar, on 16.
I don't know how to do anything medical with myself, and I'm probably not going to want to step on that. So I guess I'm.
You take a grenade out and you flip the thing and say, "You always annoyed me, Gorman."
I just did the same.
And blow the room up.
I said I would get anything anybody wanted. Nobody said anything about.
I
You
put
should have
the
got some
style
silences
on
as
my,
well.
on mine.
So yes, Tar, what would you like to do?
I guess there's not too much I can do. I probably can't stand up with my action, can I?
No. You're
That's what I thought. So
actually prone at the moment until you get some kind of first aid onto your leg.
Yeah, I guess I'll just have my gun ready to shoot from prone. If I
Okay,
have
so
to.
you'll delay your action for defensive actions.
Yes.
Only, yeah. Okay then. So that takes us to the end of combat round, turn 1. So this is going to turn 2, and the first thing that of course happens is that this lizard appears at the door. It uses a free action to sort of like skirt round to sort of like check what's in it, almost like in true Gulliver fashion. Gets a 4, and it almost like goes meow, 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 and sort of like picks out where everybody is. And I've just been watching Battleship, so it probably goes round and sees you all green and then decides which is the biggest threat in preparation. And that's on 24. Flint, you're on 19.
So seeing this creature in the doorway, Flint and Faraday crouching down, Flint is going to turn and shoot over the top of Faraday into the creature.
Okay then, go for it. Are you looking it?
Yeah, he's probably going to have to and reverse that.
Okay then. So you reverse that. The reptile has already coasted you all out, so he knows where you are. So it uses its evade to try to duck behind, out the way of the shot, and its evade is 50. Yeah, so it uses up an action, and you sort of like turn around. It sort of like comes around, looks like you fire, and it just sort of like moves out the way, and it pings off the side. Matheson, you're up. You're moving towards Tar, so you
That's
will.
right, exactly. So I'm moving. I'm going to get down, ready for next action.
Yeah,
to
cool.
do my first aid.
Yeah. So in combat turn 3, if you still got an action, then you'll be able to do it. Faraday, you're up next.
Faraday's just going to sort of like aim up at it and shoot.
Go for it. That's a hit. It's going to use its final action point to try to avoid your shot as well, but with an 86 it fails, so you'll have a special hit location damage.
Okay, so my special, I'm going to try to drop foe. My hit location is in its 18.
18 is its left arm, yeah.
And my damage is 6.
6 points of damage. Is it an endurance roll, isn't it, for drop phone?
It is a endurance against the original attack, which was 32.
I got 39, so you do not drop me. Where did you hit it, sorry? 18. Left arm, yeah.
Yeah.
And you did how much points of damage?
6.
6. You sort of like fire, sort of like wax off. It's almost like it's plated skin, and you definitely see some green goo sort of like come out of it as it's blood. And we're now to Utah.
Am I able to see it and shoot from where I'm?
I think you failed your roll, did you not?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
So I would be able to do defensive.
Yeah, so just roll a 1d3 for me.
Oh, yes. That's what I didn't roll. And I got a 3.
Right, so this is turn 1 that we're up to at the moment, that you can only take defensive actions on.
Gotcha.
So that's so that's everybody done. We're back up to the top with combat round 3 for anybody who's got anything left. The reptile doesn't. Anybody else got action points left?
Nope.
Matheson?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, then. You need to do...
First aid.
yeah, that is correct.
There we go.
Let me just bring up my healing, because you are not a Mr. Bartleby.
No, it's minutes.
Yeah, I was just...
3 minutes to do first aid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you heal. So roll a 1d3.
Oh, come here. Oh, sorry. So /roll.
1d3.
Unless you've got a Peppa Pig Band-Aid, and then that's instant.
Yeah, so
Magic sponge.
Tar, what was your hit point down to on your leg?
-1.
-1. So Matheson comes across and starts bandaging it up. She sort of like applies pressure to it to stop the blood and starts to wrap it up. But it's only going to be when you get out of combat, then this is actually going to heal for the 3 points. Like previously stated, it's going to take minutes. And of course, we're working at a 6-second round at the moment. Faraday, do you have any?
No, 2 actions.
And Tar, you'll just diver again for your second one, and take any. Okay, then. So we're now moving into combat round 2, turn 1. So everybody is up and ready now. And the first thing I do, the first person to go is the reptile. Okay, then let me just recap what's happening. Tar's on the ground. Flint is behind Tar. Matheson's by the side of Tar. Faraday's by the side of Flint. Is that right?
I was crouched in the
Who
doorway.
did anybody make contact?
I did.
Oh,
I
right then. So that it would be. Say again, son.
I believe Flint did, but
Flint shot at it, yeah.
Did you both hit?
You dodged mine.
Okay, but I didn't dodge yours.
no.
Okay then, so he's going to fire back at the one that causes him amount of threat at the moment, which is you, Faraday. How close would you be to it?
Practically. Well, it'd be touching distance.
Yeah.
because
So it will use it.
I was waiting to go round the door to shoot at it.
Yeah.
The,
So it won't. It'll just sort of like rake you with its claw. For 17, so I've hit.
Okay, I want to.
You'll be parrying with unarmed or dodging out the way and becoming prone.
I'll parry with unarmed then.
Okay then, cool.
Um,
Do you want to reverse those numbers?
no, but I'm good.
That joke never gets old. Can I just say that?
No, it doesn't. It's going to get off every time.
I'm going to use the point of luck to reroll.
Okay, go for it then. Oh!
I'll reroll those ones. I'll reverse those ones.
Yeah, Faraday's in a double number roll. The next one. Okay then. So this is he strikes out with its claw to your 11.
That is going to be my chest.
And with its claw, it does. There's 1 second. Right. Don't get excited. Does 4 points of damage to your chest.
Okay.
Are you still in positive?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I am. Tough I am. That was on 24. So it's used
Got
one.
a plate mail breastplate on the
Yeah. Mythras.
It says armor 5 on mine. Don't know what armor I've got.
Probably a bulletproof vest.
Yeah.
Okay then. That's 24 for his first action point. So Flint, you're up next on 19.
Flint's
I'm
going.
going. Oh, I hope I don't hit because it'll go for me next time.
No, Flint is going to shoot at it again.
Flint would get the laser blast, plasma blast.
But Flint is shooting.
Okay, shoot away. Yeah, so you fire. It's going to try to use an action roll to go for cover. What's his evade? It's 50, isn't it? What did I get? Oh!
That's twice.
Oh, Matheson, you sound so disappointed. That's
Use a
twice.
luck point, inwils. Reverse that.
Oh, that's an idea. No, I'll save
Because
my.
then you'll go completely around the corner.
I'll save my luck point till I get 50 and I'm attacking, because then I can crit it. Yeah, so you fire it, ducks behind and sort of like hits the wall. Matheson, you're busy.
Matheson's, yeah, she's holding pressure on the leg. She's rubbing like,
Yeah.
mad. And then she's going, put some pressure on here while I rap.
And Tar's just sort of like, as it. Okay, Faraday, are you up?
So where's this thing now?
In front of you.
All right. Okay. In which case I'll fire.
Yeah. So when you take cover, but you naturally come back.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll try to dodge out the way of it. To take cover with my action. Oh, drat! Fail. With a 53.
Oh, sorry. Ignore that. Again, I'm
ignoring it.
I'm going for drop foe.
Okay.
And it's going in at 11.
That's his chest.
Again, for this time, another 6 points.
Chest is.
This is marksmanship for you. Each time I've hit, I've always gone for central mass.
I like the secret smile from Flint as you hit it because he missed.
Yeah, because
I didn't mean to miss. No, I didn't miss. He dodged.
I don't get dropped.
We know you always succeed in your roles. It's unbelievable. Honestly, if you were a player,
Me?
yeah, you would be absolutely awesome.
You can see my rolls, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm on a roll tonight.
It says you're rolling.
Tar,
between,
you're on 16, which would be the last action that you're ready to fight next turn, and we're going to combat turn 2. It's still on round 2, combat round 2. Reptile is out of action points, so I can't do anything. Flint, you're next.
I think I've got an action point, in which case I'm going to shoot.
Shoot away then. See, you all need these cards, look.
Well,
I can counter 2.
So I start off with this, and then I just flick it over to that. And then they're all on my keyboard. That's where they are. Yeah,
I just haven't clicked my dice
hit, roll to see whether or not you can hit this guy. Yes, that is nice. U.S. Marine. Are you American?
I'm assuming so. It's yes. I was born in the Bronx. I was born in the Bronx.
That would have been a
lived in
perfect.
England for a long time.
Yeah, lost his accent.
I was based in England in Bletchley Park.
Lost his
I don't know, I'm making it up.
accent straight away. Okay, so you've got double crit hit location, double special hit location damage.
Okay. I am going to use.
Your choose location at this range would need to have a crit for it.
Okay. Well, choose location, chest.
Okay.
And then because I like the sound of it.
I'm going to use bleed.
Rejuvenation.
Bleed.
Sneak peek.
Sneak peek. Did I didn't know what that does? No, I was thinking of using pin down.
Bypass armor.
Or
Pin
max
down.
damage.
Oh, I didn't
pin
see that
down?
on there. Is that on there? I've got to kill something, rapid reload, entangle.
Yeah, it's using the offensive specials as well.
Oh, it's the normal ones as well. I was just looking at the fancy new ones.
No.
Bleed.
Bleed is for bladed weapons only.
Impale.
You can bleed. You can shoot an archery or something like that.
An archery or an artery?
Archery.
No, but it's going to be choose location chest, and then the one I was wanting to use. Oh no, I can't use that. Well, I could use that, but there's no one behind him. I was going to use over penetration, but that's not quite.
And kill the wall.
And kill the wall behind him.
You can impale if you wish. It does say the game master may wish to restrict or ban this effect for plasma or laser-based energy weapons.
It's died in 7 minutes though because
No, it was going to be max damage. I used max damage, so the max damage would on the carbine would be 13
Okay.
to his chest.
Cool. 13
2d6
to
plus 1.
its chest, which would take that down to.
Good job, his armor's 13.
yeah, I reckon his armor's 3 or 4.
This is my endurance roll here. I'm actually no, because I'm actually at this. So because that'd take me to a major wound. Drops. Yeah, so I drop unconscious if I failed the roll, because I've succeeded the roll on 39. If I'd failed the roll, I would have been dead. So a major wound to your chest, head or abdomen, if you make it, you drop unconscious. If you fail it, you're dead. Cool. Oh, hang on, I've got a luck point. No. I can just move it to a minor wound, a major serious wound. Yeah. So this the shot from Flint sort of like hits the same hole virtually that whoever made it previously, and this creature falls dead at the door. Yeah. What would you like to do? Yeah.
The guy was holding, is it sort of like molded onto him, or is it like a weapon that he's dropped?
No, it's actually part. You figure he might have some kind of almost like exoskeleton metal device that they're probably in. Does that make sense? Now that this thing is a lot closer, just roll a perception roll for me. Yeah, as you look over it, you notice that it seems to have various areas that seem to be a little bit more protected, either with sort of like chitin plating, but this plasma thing is sort of like, it's a bit like the hand cannon in Black Desert Online. It sort of like seems to be strapped tightly onto its arm. You can try to remove it if you wish.
Do you know when I was back in this location?
Yeah.
Down into the middle, approximately how many did I see?
I can tell you that, the exact amount, because I have it written down. Roughly at about 52. No, you saw you saw about 3, maybe 4. You're not too sure, because they were moving around, and from your distance you couldn't tell. You know, it might have been the same ones. There might have been 2 down there, but you figure anywhere between 3, either 3 or 4. That's your best guess.
Okay. So he's sort of like Faraday, keeping an eye sort of like down this way, and an occasional glance down there. He's going to sort of like say back, "Are we ready to move out?"
Okay then. So Matheson, you finish. You take. I presume you're going to finish. Stay here to take minutes. To actually do it. So Tar, you would get your hit points back at this point.
Matheson will shout, We're not going to carry him out. Let's get him up and mobile.
You probably pick up an adrenaline shot and sort of like whack it into his leg. So Tar uses, oh, this is nice, to sort of like dull the pain. So you're actually still moving around. It's not completely healed because it's a plasma shot, wasn't it? So it's probably singed the flesh, but the adrenaline shot from Matheson and the sort of like high amount of cocodamol that goes into you, maybe a bit of morphine as well, means that you're operational, but you're going to have one come down later on, most definitely. And I think at that point that would be a sensible time to take the break. It's only 1 minute before past. But just before we do that, Faraday, can you make for me a perception check? Oh, did you already make one? Oh no, that was yeah.
That was for something to do with the weapon.
Yeah, so you can definitely hear coming from the south. So coming from where the chute was, you can definitely you actually feel the metal grate vibrate as if there's significant feet bashing onto it, and you can't see anything, but because you've got 1 foot out, you definitely feel it vibrating. And we will take our 10-minute break there. So if you're watching the stream, we're going to take a quick 10-minute break. So we will be back dead on 20 to 9 hour time. So that's 10 minutes from now. So go and grab yourself a beverage, and we will be right back once I've put the screen right. off. Yeah, we are back. Welcome back, everyone. The party of secret agents are down in a reptilian-like ship. They have been in this room since the start of the adventure, which was some like hour and a half ago. And
We're planning to leave it soon.
yeah,
No, wait.
and you do notice, Faraday, as you sort of like, Faraday, you can hear things coming down the corridor or up the corridor to you. You do notice now that I've put on a door here, which is actually open. And you can also see the door down at the bottom is open. You think it's probably some kind of alert system that automatically opens all doors. And like I say, you can hear maybe more than one of these creatures coming from the south. Yeah, what would you like to do?
Faraday's going to say, "Move it!"
Move it! I like to move it, move
Everybody just sort
At
of,
which point, Flint, with the only one with half decent weapon, his long range weapon, is going to start moving out the door. Gun out, ready, and then he's going to turn to the south where the hatch was.
Sorry, that's really interesting. You know, I have 2 different logins for Google on Chrome. So I have the inwils one and my professional one. My professional one goes to Roll20 absolutely fine. It's only my inwils login that is not going there.
I have M-Wills, and then I have Shirley Sweet Cheeks.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, okay then. Now I need to figure out why it's not doing it for that one. Okay then. So Faraday, what are you doing? Because you're in the doorway at the moment.
At the moment, he's keeping an eye down the corridor with his gun trained, waiting for everybody else to muster themselves.
Okay then. So what's Flint doing again?
So Flint is taking that as a direct order. He's on his way out into the corridor, gun out, ready, and then he's going to turn to the left, and he's looking down the corridor to
the right.
Yeah, to the right. Yeah, and go that way. So he's stopped, paused, he's covering that corridor to let everyone else get out.
Okay then. So what about Tar and Matheson?
Well, Matheson's going to get Tar to his feet to make sure he gets up properly. Just take it easy. Just don't do anything stupid on it.
Thanks, Matheson.
And
You hear Faraday as she says that behind Faraday. Faraday's going to say, "Fuck that! You need to move."
yes, Tar. What's going to be you're up? What's going to be your action, Tar?
Weapon ready, of course, but his goal is
Oh,
to
yes,
get over
yeah.
to Faraday.
I am now assuming that all weapons are ready unless you deact them. So, Flint, which way are you guarding?
So at the moment, he's guarding the way to the right.
Okay, then.
Or the north.
Faraday, both of you are out in the corridor, I assume.
Yeah, I'm sort of like half keeping an eye out down. I'm using corner cover.
Right, so you're sort of like in the doorway then. So,
Yeah.
Flint, are you in the doorway as well, or are you out on the corridor?
He's out in the corridor, but he's leaned up against the wall, sort of like trying to get a bit of a, not really cover, but trying to just get a little bit of line of sight, but not like stand in the middle of the corridor.
Yeah, and you're looking to the top.
Yeah.
Tar, what do you wish to do? So you can actually get out past Faraday if you wish.
I do want to get out, but I want to get to Faraday coming out and coming next to him to mention, while you're out, boss, Head said, still hear her screaming. And then after noting that, just turning to assist Flint, I guess, would be the direction.
So are you sort of like coming up to guard at the
that's
top?
perfect.
Okay then, and is the plan just to stay there, or are people moving?
So, hearing what Tar has just said, Faraday's going to say, "Tar, you'll cover our retreat. We're going to be moving fast. We're going to be heading," and he's going to point that way. up this corridor, away from the other ones.
Okay. And then are you still hugging the door now?
No, as soon as people start moving out, he's going to head out. He's going to head out as well.
Okay, so whereabouts are you planning on going to?
Oh, he'll have to take lead, because otherwise we won't. He's going to take lead on it.
Okay then. And Matheson, what's going to be your plan?
Once people start moving out, she's going to slide herself in between the rear two. So she'll become second from rear.
Right,
So,
I don't.
so she's going out straight out into the corridor.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not playing marching order. So Faraday's coming round ready for the door.
She's legging out right. If that's flipping the heading, it should be going right.
Okay then. So your move up. So Tar and Flint, you're at the back guarding the rear. Faraday, you get to this doorway. The first thing that you notice, just so you know, this carries on round.
Okay.
And it doesn't take you sort of like any sort of like knowledge to figure out that it's probably circular. You do notice, however, that just here there is a set of double doors. It seems to be bigger than anything else you've seen, and they're closed. Yeah, you're looking in the room. Yeah.
Oh, he's going. Yeah, he's not hanging about. He's not sort of like peeking round. He's going sort of like almost like crouched in, straight in with his gun pointed out, looking for targets.
Yeah, so as soon as you go into the room, there's this sort of like red glow, and you notice that there's 3 tables. They seem to be made out of metal. You can see them glinting, and they seem to be of such a build that you can see straps on it, as if you could put somebody onto it and strap them down, so they're actually attached. And
Empty.
no, and as you sort of like come through the door, you then hear, it's not so much of a scream, it's more of a whimper. And you suddenly notice that the middle table has somebody strapped to it.
Okay, he's immediately going over to that table. Do I recognise the person on it from the?
Yeah, right. Okay, so you head over to that table. What's everybody else doing?
So Flint will be moving up. So he's going to move up. He's not going into the room, but he's got his back to them. And he's going to be covering the big double doors and to the corner of the corridor as well.
Okay, Matheson, what?
Matheson's following Faraday straight into the room.
Okay then, and Tar, what are you going to be doing?
Tar will be guarding to the rear and staying with the group, but focused on the rear.
So as you move round, your visual perspective, so to speak, of course, is always being moved round because of the curvature of the actual tunnel. So you will probably see when things get to here from your position now. But just so you're aware that you will have less warning as you go. So Tar and Flint, you're sort of like busy forming cover as Faraday and Matheson go into the room. It seems to be quite sort of Matheson, you sort of like roll your biology or a science skill, whichever one's higher for you. Yeah, it looks like these tables are some kind of dissecting and actual almost like operating tables. And as you actually go in, you notice that the other 2 are actually empty. There's only the middle one, but you do suddenly notice that there appears to be what is a headless body. It just seems to be slumped up in one of the corner as if it's been decapitated and just almost like discarded. You do see that on the table the woman is strapped down. You easily recognize it as one of the it's got the uniforms on of the research station people, and you notice that her chest has been and stomach has been butterflied, and so it's open and there's various cables and wires all going into it. Both Faraday and Matheson, after seeing both these things, you need to make a willpower check. Matheson, yours will be easier because of the medical nature of this.
What we've just seen, is there only one person on one of these, or is there?
That's just all on the middle one. So the woman.
Whimpering.
Yeah, so that's the worst thing about it. It looks like they've been dissecting her.
Live autopsy.
Yeah. So roll. So willpower. That's.
Wow.
Yeah. So Faraday, you stagger a bit seeing this. You're not used to this, and it probably brings back some kind of memory. That sort of like you don't pass unconscious, but you do step away and sort of like back up a little bit, taken. Oh, sorry. Did you want to look at?
I can't.
No, okay. You sort of like back away, and sort of like it is almost like that transfixed moment when you're trying to take your eyes off it, but you can't do. You sort of like come out into the corridor, looking back. Do you wish to say or do anything as you come out?
Yeah. As he comes into the corridor, sort of like almost like wrenching, he'll say, "It's the scientist leader, Kerbok. Get her."
Okay, and Matheson, you will be able to act next. What's your plan?
I want to look at this woman. She's still conscious, I'm assuming, with the whimpering. She's going to start. Well, she's going to look at the body to see if she can pull these wires out without doing any major damage, and then she's going to try and close everything back in as quick as she can. It's not going to be subtle. She's going to be. Yeah, this is not.
Do you have a medical skill other than first aid?
No,
because this isn't first aid at this precise moment. You could try. You could try ripping the stuff out. You can make a roll for that using your first aid. It will be formidable to make sure that you take out the right things. It might not be.
Good.
What happens if I hit the funny bone?
Wait, I'll go.
Come on, she will do that. She wants to try to get this woman out. It's part of her.
Okay then, go for it.
Yeah.
First aid, formidable roll.
Oh, but
do you have any luck?
Points of luck to reverse that.
Yeah, so you start to sort of like pull things out. You notice that every time you sort of like start pulling things out, it's almost as if her nervous system is still intact and she's screaming every time you sort of like pull something out. Tar and Flint, make perception rolls, please. Okay, Flint, you appear to be looking in the right direction at the right time, and you see one of these lizard things open the door, and it's you. Just so you know, looking beyond it, you can see that there's some kind of set of stairs going down. It looks like, and it's just sort of like come up with it. It looks like it's ready to fight. The other thing that you notice, Tar, is that round the other corner, round here. Why would that copy and paste? Oh, there we coming round the curvature of the corridor, comes another one of these lizards. Can you all roll for me your initiatives, please?
I think something's broken with mine. I've got 19 every time.
Just for ease, I'm just going to make them roll. That they'll share the same
26.
Same 17 for their thing, so that they'll move it. Okay then. Let's do this. Okay then. So that's brilliant. So Matheson, you're busy pulling these things out, and I'm assuming unless you hear anything else to the contrary,
None the wiser.
yeah. But you'll probably then start to try to stitch her up or something, which will then require another medicine roll or first aid. Flint, you're up.
So Flint, first thing he's going to do is he's going to shout "contact front," and then he's going to open fire onto this creature that's come through these double doors.
Yeah, cool.
With a 7 crit standard.
Yeah, so I need 2 specials and hit location and damage.
So he's going to do choose location, chest, and max damage.
Okay then, cool. How much damage is that?
So max damage is 13.
13.
And I'll take
it down
some bullets off.
to that. So that's just a serious wound. It's not a major wound on him. So he can roll that 54. I think his endurance is 90, if I remember correctly.
That's what the last.
You're right.
Yeah, it was 90.
Yeah, so he's still up and running. Tar.
Is Tar aware of the one that
Yeah,
appeared?
yeah.
Okay.
It was something else that you haven't heard.
Well, I'm opening fire because I'm protecting the rear. Here is my attack with my M16.
Yeah, and this beast doesn't seem to be ducking out the way. It almost like looks as if it's almost like battle lusting as it comes around. So you'll have, or it thinks that you can't actually hurt it. And so I need hit location, special hit location damage.
It's going to be drop foe and rolling my d20. It's 18.
18, so that's its left arm.
7 damage.
That goes down to that, and I need an endurance roll, don't I?
Versus my 43.
43. I get a 50, which is fine. Yeah. Okay. Flint, Tar. Right. Here comes my rolls. So both Flint, the one next to you, is just striking out with its claw to hit you. It gets a 91 and misses, and the one running towards you fires it with its blaster weapon, and it gets a 33, which is a hit.
Would I be allowed to evade that?
There's nowhere to take cover at the moment, so this is coming at you. So let me just do hit location, and then this is coming into your 10.
My chest.
And does 8 points of damage as it brings me like that, and it just whacks you in your chest for 8 points. Take armor off first, and then tell me where you're down to.
I wasn't given any armor. As far as I know.
You didn't ask for any armor.
Okay then.
So that brings me to a 0.
That's a 0. So you have got a serious wound, I think. 0 points or less. So this is serious wound. So you need to make an endurance check to my 33. Which you'll fail, won't you? Because I'm at 33 and you rolled a 30. So
Opposed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a wounds are always opposed, aren't they? Well, it's endurance versus the original attack roll. So my original attack was 33, and I think that's a 30, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I win that. So therefore, this is on your chest. And how much damage did I do?
I'm
8.
I'm at 0 health for my chest.
Okay then. So let's put a little 8 there. Faraday, you see this plasma thing whack into Tar. Tar staggers back a bit and just sort of like falls to the ground. He's unconscious. At the present moment in time, he sort of like sees a smoking thing, and you can actually see this beast past Tar. What would you like to do?
I'll blast off a shot.
Okay, cool. Go for it. Oh, nice small arms fire. Crit. Double special. I got duck out of the way. Double special hit location damage.
Okay, so I'm going to I'm going to choose location, head, and then maximum damage, which will be 7.
7 points to its head. Nice. And I'll take it down to it's just you sort of like but can you see that bony plate? You sort of like hit a bit of that. You go through its head, but it doesn't take it doesn't knock it out or something, and it appears to still be it seems to be still moving forward, but with his gun out. And that brings us to the end of combat round 1, turn 1. So we're on to turn 2. Matheson, could you make your first aid roll for me, please?
No. Matheson, hearing what's going on outside, is going to stop what she's doing, and she's going to look at this lady on the table. Sorry, hon, if I had more time, I'd be able to save you. And then she's going to pull out a gun, and then next turn she will shoot her in the head.
Okay. Flint, what would you like to do?
Flint is going to try and he's going to carry on shooting at this thing that's come through the doorway at him.
Nice, go for it.
Very close, and he does not like it.
My beast will try to take cover to avoid it. He gets a 13. Evade rolls are opposed, aren't they? So you'll still hit him. So you need to do special hit location damage.
Special will be drop foe, and the location will be. That's just wrong. 1d20. Do it that way. And it's 3, which is
drop foe is endurance.
But I've got to do a certain amount of damage.
Right.
Is it a minor wound or something?
He's got to do 1 point after armor.
Okay, there you
go. 1 point
damage.
So
I've got to do 1 point after its armor on its leg.
To do at least a minor wound.
Okay, then, so where was it going? Sorry.
In its 3.
In its 3, it's but in its tail.
And I got 9 damage.
9 damage. It needs to do. That's its endurance check. That 59 for the drop foe, which succeeds. But now it's down to. It's got a wound, so it needs to roll it again and beat your attack as well. 56. Does that beat your attack?
I've got a 52 on my standard.
So he's still up. Tar, you're out of it. 8 minutes.
I just appreciate checking in.
This is the reptile now that takes a pot shot at you, Tar. Sorry, Faraday. 29 hits. You can take a proactive, and because you're by the door, you can go for cover if you wish.
Yeah, what's that? An evade?
Yes, it's just like a normal evade, but it takes you into cover. So if you succeed, you won't take the damage. Yeah, so you sort of like duck into cover as one of these plasma bolts. You must use an action. Do you?
Yeah.
Sort of like wax off, and it's you, Faraday.
Yeah, that was my action.
You got no. Okay, then cool. So we're now going on to 3. For anybody who's got any left. Matheson, do you have a third point?
I do indeed, and I'm going to follow through what I said.
So are you coming out of the room? You pushing past Faraday and coming outside?
No.
Yeah. So all of a sudden, you hear a shot from inside the thing as you shoot this Russian research person in the head. And but Flint, do you have any left?
No, Flint's out of actions.
Tara's unconscious. The reptile next to you, Flint, doesn't have any left. But the reptile firing at you does, Faraday. So this will be a hard roll because you've got cover. 73, which I think is... Yeah, that's a miss. So the plasma bolt seems to bounce off the side just as you duck into cover. And Faraday, do you have any points left?
No.
No. Okay then. So we're now going into round 2, turn 1. Matheson, what would you like to do?
Matheson is now going to move to the door. She's not going to go through the door. She'll be in the corner. She can see Faraday there. So she wants to go to next to him, facing the other way.
Okay.
And she'll crouch down and she'll be ready. And
okay.
well, I noticed that Tar's down on the floor.
No, because he's down the other way.
Right.
So Flint, you're up.
Flint is going to try and get rid of this creature, so he's going to open fire again. Critical.
Nice. So it'll be 2 crits, 2 specials, hit location damage.
So he's going to choose location chest, because that's where he was shooting before, I think. And then he's going to do... I don't know if I want to do max damage again. No, he'll do max... No. Yeah, he'll do max damage again on chest.
Okay, so how much is that?
That's 13.
13, 10. Right. Chunk. I need to roll my endurance to keep up. I got an 84.
So he has.
Yeah, because my endurance is 90, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
But then hasn't he taken damage on his tail already, which hasn't that put him up a level? No.
Why would it put him up a level?
Oh, sorry, I thought it did. I got a serious. Maybe I misread.
Yeah, no. The only thing that affects difficulties are if you get a serious at one point, fatigue affects difficulties and certain locations. That damage has a much serious effect. If I fail, I'm unconscious and can't do anything. Like poor Tar's finding out. Cool. So yeah, he succeeds against that. Oh no, hang on, he doesn't succeed against the endurance roll, because the endurance was a crit.
Yeah.
Wasn't it? So he is down. So therefore, yeah, you pop another bullet off into this guy, and then you notice that he just sort of like slumps down as you take him out with a shot. You can see there's a set of stairs going down. Flint, roll a perception check for me as well. Tar's down. This reptile fires at the cover of the door. Again, it will be difficult increase to hit you. 50%, which does hit. You can take a proactive roll and duck into cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you dive back into. Is that an opposed roll? Yes, it's like evades an opposed roll, isn't it? You know, when you evade something, it's opposed, isn't it? I'm sure it is.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I'm sure if you evade, it is opposed. How long we've been playing this game and we still don't know evading.
It's my first time for combat. I just for
evasion attempts require an opposed roll of the attacker's pertinent skill against versus evade of the defender. So you got a 25, but my roll was a 50. So you don't duck back into cover. You take the damage. So this is my to hit roll. This is going into your 14.
that is my right arm.
And that's which is probably sensible because that's probably the arm you're fighting for 9 points of damage onto it.
Okay, so that puts me -4 out of -5.
Okay, so that's a serious wound. So you need to roll your endurance against my initial roll of 50.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
You make it, but not oppose. So use this thing sort of like fires its plasma bolt out, and it sort of like hits your arm, and you failed that. So you drop your 9mm as it sears through your arm and through your flesh, and you sort of go like that. Your gun rattles to the ground. That arm is out of action for the time being, and that's turn 1 gone. Yeah, I think so. Turn 2, we're back up at the top.
Am I I can still act. Can I? Or
is it a serious wound that you've taken? Yeah.
yeah, -4.
Yeah, so you roll a 1d3. Thank you.
Two.
So you're out for the next 2 turns. You can only take defensive actions. Okay, but you can run away and things like that.
For a weapon, a defensive action.
Well, yes, you can still parry or evade. So I would have thought you can draw a weapon. You just cannot attack.
Right.
Or, full stop. It says you can't cast spells either in the rules, but obviously that's not applicable here. So, Matheson, you're up.
I wanted to see him get shot in the arm and then go, and spin round, but it didn't happen. Right, Matheson is seeing Faraday just take a shot then. She's going to spin around the other way and let off a shot. So I'm going to assume it's because she can't see what's coming that way. She's not looked that way. So, but
I don't know which way you.
Sorry, I was facing towards Flint. So I'm going to turn.
So you'll have to come out of the corridor because Faraday, I believe, is taking cover out of the.
Yeah, I was in the.
You were on the other side, going facing the other way, weren't you?
Yeah.
So if you want to hit that, you're going to have to come round Faraday because you can't fire through him. So,
okay, so
you can move to here. Tar's not a target. You can fire over the top of Tar because he's unconscious on the floor.
Yeah.
Okay then. Yeah. So roll. So you'll move there on 23.
Yeah.
Flint, you're on 19.
So Flint is going to. He wants to run to the other room that we were in that had the head, and he wants to take cover in that doorway if he can.
Okay, so you run to
there,
yeah.
Take cover in that doorway.
You'll do a movement run to get there. That'll be your movement
fine.
run. Okay, then Tar, you're out. Reptile, it's me now. So it sees Matheson set off, step out, but Flint comes running towards it. Obviously, some kind of threat to it. So it turns. It uses its action point to fire weapon. 23, which is a hit. Do you wish to use an action to dive for cover for that door?
I have no action points left.
Okay then. So
We
then,
had 3.
No, I've got 2.
so this is coming into your 5,
That is my left leg.
and it does 10 points of damage to it.
That takes me down to -3.
-3 out of how many?
7.
Okay then. So you need to make an endurance roll against my original attack, which was 23.
No.
Yeah. So you, as you sort of like running past Madison, past Tar, and sort of like heading through the door, you see this reptile sort of like see you moving and almost like moves its blaster cannon or blaster claw, plasma claw slightly ahead to where you would be running. And as you sort of like get into there and go like that, and it just sort of like whacks it into your leg and takes your leg out, and you are now prone. You're crawling. You're down prone on the ground. And Faraday, you're up.
I can't do anything.
Okay.
I drew the Russian pistol in my last round, but this is the second round.
Okay, yeah. The second round that you can't do anything. Yeah, so you probably just delay just in case you need it. And so this is combat turn 3. Matheson, you're up. You can now shoot this thing if you wish.
Matheson, she's going absolutely batshit, and she's going to say, "It's all good as shit," and she's going to take a shot at this lizard thing.
Okay, cool. Fire away. Fire away, fire away. That a hit. I need special hit location and damage.
Special is going to be choose location, and it's going to be it's going to be chest. Sorry.
What's the range?
It
It won't be in close range, so therefore.
won't be. Oh right, so I can't do that. That's
yeah,
right.
because it needed to be a crit.
My range. Oh, say that. My range is 50 for close range.
50 meters. I need to know what is close. 0 to 50.
0 to 50, then 100, then 200.
Okay, then so you can hit location. I didn't realise it was so far with a 9mm. So you can do. So what hit location do you want to hit?
Chest, please.
Because this one hasn't. Yeah, go for it.
And that's 6 points damage.
Chest. What's the maximum from that? Cool. So that's on combat turn 3. Madison, Flint, what do you wish to do? Go for it.
No, I was just going to ask. So I'm on the floor. I've got -3 out of 7. So that's a. I can't remember if that's a major, isn't it? Major wound. -3 out of 7.
No, it's a serious wound.
That's a serious. So does
would
that
have
mean I was meant to have done the 1d3?
Yeah, you can roll a 1d3 now. So, but you can. Do you wish to?
So he's going to try and get into cover if he can. So like crawl into cover.
Okay, then. So you sort of like crawl in there. Roll the 1d3. Tar, you're out of it.
Sorry, did I just miss a turn there? Because I went at the last turn 2, didn't I?
No, we're on combat turn 3.
Oh,
you went
sorry,
first.
That's right. Sorry.
Then Flint.
It's with Flint said he had no action points.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I've got no action points. Beg your pardon. I shouldn't have.
Oh, right.
So I haven't done that.
Flint, Tar's out.
Thank you.
Reptile, I still have a point. Faraday, do you have any points left?
No, I have two.
Okay. So this lizard turns itself onto you, Matheson, and rolls a 57, which is a hit. What do you wish to do?
There's nothing she can do, so she's
Okay, so you sort of like come out almost like defiantly and
It's
sort of like,
more of a panic than a defiance.
yeah, and this plasma bolt lands on your 18
Left arm.
for 11 points of damage.
Yeah, that's fine. She's got 20. No, she's way past negative.
How far past negative?
She has already She's got 2 hit points left on there out of 4, so she's going to be minus 13. Is that right?
You can't be. I've only done 11.
No, I've got previous damage.
Twice over the 4, like the negative 4.
Oh, right. So that's a major wound that you've got. Is it an arm?
It is left arm.
Yeah. Roll your endurance. My original roll was a 57.
I can't beat that. I'll roll it anyway.
You can have a crit.
Oh!
A crit breaks it.
But he can't beat it, so don't let him have it.
Just to let you know, you're not going unconscious, because if you failed the row, you would be unconscious. But this thing sort of like turns around and blasts this thing out, and you feel it hit the top of your shoulder, and you feel the shoulder completely almost like dislocate from the pressure of it, and you notice that you're bleeding heavily from round there, and that whole arm is useless. It's just sort of like hanging
is it all
there.
black and charred?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's always left arm, isn't it?
Yeah, always. I like left arms. Okay, so we're going into combat round 3. Turn 1, and Madison, you need to roll a 1d3 for me.
Well,
Okay, so for this turn, you can't take any offensive actions. Well, actually, you've got a major wound, so you're unable to continue fighting full stop.
yeah.
What do you wish to do?
Matheson is going to just run backwards if she can.
Okay, how far? Are you fleeing?
I'm getting out of sight, so I'm running out of the way.
Okay, then that's cool. So you can see the steps going down that door, throughout that door, sort of like ladder steps. And Flint, you're on 19, and I think you can. You've only got a serious wound, so you can.
So yeah, he's going to. He wants to try and prop himself up with his rifle out. Anyway.
Okay. And Tar's out of it. Reptile comes round, and he's still there, and he just fires his plasma. You're sort of like a lovely easy shot now, and it fires it out with a 33 hits. Do you wish to?
Yeah, he's going to try and he can't move very far because his leg's gone, but he's going to try and evade.
So therefore, yeah. So roll your evade skill. You got to beat 33.
No.
So it fires off its plasma claw again into you, into your 10.
10 is my chest.
And does 8 points of damage there.
Okay.
Tell me what you're down to.
1.
Right, so just still a minor wound. Yeah, cool. That's its action done. And Faraday, I think you're back up now, are you, to act?
So Faraday's going to come round the corner with this Russian pistol in his left.
Oh, yes, yeah.
And fire at this lizard thing.
Cool, go for it then.
Will I be any different on the to hit, or
what? Because it's a Russian pistol.
And I'm using offhand.
Oh yeah, so it'll be one difficulty level higher.
Okay.
So it'll be hard instead of
Okay.
no. Yeah, so you sort of like fumble around with it and try to fire it out, but you're not used to firing it in this weapon at all, and it just sort of like hits off the side. You notice it's almost like a distraction because this thing looks like it's going to finish Flint off, and you fire, probably meaning to distract it, and it suddenly sort of like turns round to see you, and that's the end of turn 1. So going into turn 2, Matheson, you're up.
Matheson has got one thing in her mind. She needs to get back to that lab and she needs to blow up those samples that are in there. She can't stop anything from getting out from this place. This is a lost cause. It's self-preservation to get that job done.
Okay, so are you heading...
Running, I'm keeping going round as fast as I can.
Okay then, cool. Let me just make this lizard a bit smaller because it's in the middle. Okay then, Flint, you're on 19. What would you like to do?
I have no actions.
Okay then, Tar's still unconscious. Okay, Reptile goes next, and it's you sort of like distracted it last time, Faraday, so it sort of like turns its weapon on you and tries to hit you. It's difficult for it. 86, which means it missed. Yeah. So it actually missed it. Yeah. And which, yeah. So it's sort of like, and you sort of like at the corner trying to fire with your gippy hand, and it's just sort of like takes a shot, and it sort of like hits the side. Matterson, you go around the corner. And could you roll a perception roll for me, please? Yeah, you're not surprised. You hear it at the last minute. Just to let you know, as you run round here, let me just draw it all on for you because you'll be able to see it now. It's almost like identical to the...
to the rest, yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. But say again, sorry.
Sorry, nothing.
So as you come round, there's a lizard that just come up these steps into your line of view. Faraday, have you had yours?
No.
No, you're up then. Gippy hand Faraday.
Okay. Oh. It fired at me, so it must be my turn now.
Yeah, and the other reptile came in.
The other reptile came down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't going out of order. Oh, I've hit.
Yes, you certainly have. So I need special hit location and damage.
Okay. So my special is going to be. Well, I don't exactly know how it works. It's going to be duck back, but does having cover make it harder for it to hit me anyway, or do I just evade roll?
Yeah. So
it's going to be duck back, so that I don't have to.
Okay. Yeah. That.
But I still lose an action then, don't I? If I have to evade.
No, because you don't have to. You do it now without waiting for your next action, so
right,
you'll be in cover,
Okay.
so to speak. Yeah.
Okay, so location is going to be 13,
Which is the chest, which has been hit
damage
before.
is going to be 4 points.
Ouch. Yeah, you sort of like pepper it in. It just sort of goes like that without much. Okay, then we're down to combat round 3 for anybody who's got actions left. Matheson, have you got actions left?
I have indeed, and she has seen this come out. Her eyes go wide, and she just runs straight past it as fast as she can.
Okay, you need to roll an evade roll against my evade.
Oh.
And you get an attack of opportunity.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
no.
this is my So I get a 98, and as you chase past it, it sort of like makes a feeble attempt to sort of like grab you, but you manage to get round and past it round the
I want to
corner.
get out. Yeah, trying to get out of his line of sight.
Yeah, that's cool. We'll probably get round to there then. Flint, what would you like to do?
We on round turn 3? No, I don't have any actions.
Okay then. Tar's out of it. I'm out of it. Faraday, are you out of it? Okay then. So that's nice. We can go on to turn combat round 4. Wow, I didn't think you would last this long. Round 1. Matheson, you're up.
Okay, the hatch I can see just ahead, I'm hoping.
Yes, you certainly can.
So straight to the hatch.
Okay, just to let you know, when you get to the bottom of it, you look up and the hatch is not open, it's down. That's Matheson. Flint, you will have actions left. What do you wish?
Flint, so I've got actions. My 2 turns of not being able to attack have finished, so he's going to, from his prone position, going to open fire at this one.
Okay, so it'd be hard as you prone.
Yeah. Nope.
No,
Too much pain.
Too much pain. Flint, Tar's out of it. Reptile goes first because you've just fired it. It just sort of like turns around you and opens its plasma cannon and just sort of like fires at you. My roll will be easier than normal. 69, which will hit. Do you wish to evade?
I've got to equal a 69, haven't I, on my evade? So
Or above, yeah.
Crit.
You can get a crit, yeah.
I'm going to try. I've got to try for the crit. That's the only way to do it.
Trying for the crit.
No.
And failed with the quit. So this is your hit location. 13.
That is my right arm.
Have I hit that before?
No.
No, do 11 points of damage to it.
So I had 6, so that's minus 3, so that's half damage. Somewhat, yeah. Okay. I'm on minuses, so I've got to roll in endurance.
What you at? Well, you're at 3.
I had a total of 6, and I've just taken 11. So is that right?
Yeah. So if you,
minus 5.
Minus 5.
minus 5, but your initial hit points are 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you haven't got a major wound, but you do have a serious wound.
Yeah.
So roll your endurance.
And that's against your original attack roll, isn't it?
Yeah, 69.
Come on, crit. No.
No. So that arm is now useless.
That's my right arm, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
What was it?
Well,
Yeah, my right
whatever
arm. Yeah.
your 13 is.
Yeah, right arm.
Yeah, so he sort of like blasts. Is that your right arm?
It is my right arm.
Yeah, so it's probably the one that you had your weapon in, and it just blasts it, and you sort of like drop your carbine, and things are not looking that good. Maybe Tar can save us, maybe not. Yeah, so we're down to Faraday.
This is round 2, isn't it? Oh yeah, I'm gonna shoot.
Okay, 5 away, 5 away.
No.
Your dice rolls are rubbish. That's the end of combat turn 1. So we're on to 2, and Matheson, you're up. You're probably muted unless you're not there.
Yeah.
Muted.
Sorry, she's looking at this hatch. She can see it's closed, and she's thinking, can she open it herself?
Maybe you would have to climb up and then do a brawn roll to overcome it.
She'll try.
Okay, so you'll use 23 to get up to up the top. Flint next.
I've got no actions. I think I've got my dice have moved. So
Okay.
You're rolling 1d3 to see.
Oh yeah, rolling 1d3. Beg your pardon. / roll 1d. Oh, no. 1.
Okay, so that'll be one turn, but this thing sort of like levels its thing at you, its plasma at you, to stop you getting anything. 31 will hit. You don't have any actions left.
No.
So this is going into your 4.
My 4 is my left leg.
And it does 8 points of damage.
So it did have -3 out of 7.
Oh, right. So you need to make for me, please, an endurance roll first.
No.
Right. So you, it sort of like almost like shreds your arm off, and you become
my left leg.
Yeah, your leg off, and you fall into unconsciousness, the same as Tar. What's that? Faraday, I think.
Was this round 2? Yeah.
Yeah, turn 2. Yeah.
I'll fire again.
Cool.
No.
Try not to sound too disappointed when you miss. You're just having so bad rolls at the moment. Okay, then. That's the end of combat turn 2. So into combat turn 3. Matheson.
Matheson, she's at this hatch. She's going to grab it with her good arm, and she's going to try and spin it round to open it.
Okay, make a brawn roll, please. I will make mine against you.
I'm going to use my last point of luck to re-roll that, if that's okay.
Yeah, by all means.
Oh, wasted.
Yeah, so you you're sort of like looking up your pistol or whatever's away as you put both hands onto this, and you try as hard as you can to sort of like move it, when all of a sudden, let me just check, because I don't want to do all of a sudden if it doesn't happen. You hear a scrape underneath, and when you look down you can see one of these lizard things. He needs a 70 to hit you and got a 77, by the way, as it sort of like slides its hand, its claw up, and it just sort of like scrapes the metal below you. Flint, Tar, Faraday, do you have any left?
Nope.
No. Okay, then we are moving on to
Cut to black. Fade to black, sorry. Then we wake up and then there's just heads and we look at each other.
I can't shoot myself in the head because I can't take defensive action.
Yeah, so we're moving on to combat round 5. Matheson, what would you like to do?
She's gone white out panic now, and she's like, just let me out of here. She's going to try again.
Okay, then you can augment your brawn roll with your willpower.
Oh, thank you. From brain. It's going to be 41. I should. Where's the little thing's going up there?
It's going to be adding 9 on.
9. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, you try to, you sort of like summon all your energy to try to almost like panicking, trying to activate that adrenaline boost to actually do it, but it would appear that you're just not strong enough. You know, instead of going to medical school, maybe you should have hit the gym.
I'm just a woman.
Yeah, I'm just a woman. Flint's outfit, Tar's outfit, reptiles are next. So this is coming at you. It is hard to hit you because you're in cover. 91 misses you. And then the other one comes to you. Yeah, you see it sort of like come up and scrape you. You can't evade because you would have to leave go of the so like fall down. Blocking is probably.
I've got no. Oh, that's just this new round, isn't it? Sorry, yes. Yeah.
You could probably try to block it by kicking the hand with your foot. But it'll be an unarmed combat, and it'll be probably formidable because you don't want to fall off the ladder. But you can.
Yeah, critical. So we'll
She
go.
might, she might evade by keeping hold of the actual thing,
Yeah.
just sort of like lifting.
Well,
the
you've had 2 1s already. Are the dice gods going to give you another one?
No.
No, and this thing reaches up and grabs hold of your leg with its claw. It's going to do 7 points of damage. And do you want left can be odds. So it grabs your right leg and does 7 points of damage as you feel its claws dig into you. What's your right leg at?
-2 now.
-2. So you need to make an endurance check
Which is going to be hard as well, isn't it?
against 55. Yeah.
Oh, nope.
No. What are you down to?
-2 out of 5.
Right, yeah. So you feel these claws sort of like sink into your leg and pull it a bit. Your leg sort of like goes into paralysis and sort of like spasms around, and you sort of like quickly grab hold of the ladder with both hands. That leg, you can't put any weight on it, and you're not too sure, but you almost like hear almost a snigger from the reptile. Faraday, I think you're up.
Yeah, I'm going to come round and fire again.
Nice. You got crits. You
Okay,
got 2
so
specials, yeah.
I'm going to do
Max damage.
no, I'm going to do choose location,
Yeah.
chest,
Yeah.
bypass armor,
Nice.
and then hope for good roll.
Okay, go for it then. Roll away.
6.
6? Is that max?
No, 7's max.
Right. 6. That puts him down to -2 in there. So this is my endurance roll. What was your original attack?
I got a critical. You need to get.
Oh, I need to get a critical then. I get a 1.
The front door.
So that will be a critical, won't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I have.
Suppose that you type in roll 1.
Yeah. Oh, am I not meant to do that? What was that? A serious wound. I got that. So I don't fail, but I do have a serious wound, which means I can't do any attack for 1 turn. So that's the end of turn 1. So this is turn 2 now. Matheson, what would you like to do?
She's just going panic. She's putting all the weight on her left leg, and she's going to do a yank. She's like, "Oh!"
Okay, so now
needs to get out. She needs to get out.
yeah, so now it's a hard task because you're repeating it. You still can add your willpower as before. No. Okay, then Flint's out of it. Tar's out of it. Reptiles. This reptile
Can't do anything.
Oh, yeah, can't.
One
Yeah.
at the bottom can.
Yeah, sorry, but you're right. Mine can't. I need to start putting how much? Oh, it's 1, isn't it? It's just 1. Yeah. Okay, then. The one below you strikes out with his claw again. Matheson, as you frantically try to get out, gets a 60. So hits you in your even leg again.
This is turn 2. Could I try to? Oh no, that's right. No, I can't.
Yeah. So this is going in the same leg, isn't it? Is it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Even, yeah.
For 5 points of damage.
Oh, that puts me to -7.
Okay then.
That's
So
major.
you roll your endurance against my original attack, which was 60.
No.
Yeah. So you don't fall unconscious. but you are immediately incapacitated, unable to fight because you got a major wound, and you fall down, down almost like a falling child into the arms of this.
As she does, you can see this little tear just trickle from her
Yeah,
eye.
and it sort of like looks at you with its lizard-like eyes and turns its head once and sort of like looks at that tear, and you're not too sure whether or not there's sudden look of recognition on it, as if it suddenly realised that you might be an intelligent being, and it sort of like turns its head to one side, and you're not too sure. You think the corners of the reptile's mouth might actually pull up to give an almost smile, but you suddenly realise it's not a smile at all as it opens its mouth, and the last thing you see is its teeth closing down.
It's lunchtime.
And
I'd just like to say, if it thought it was an intelligence being, she would have put a cold weather clothing on before she tried to.
yeah, well, no.
She was going to be dead.
She's wanting to get out.
Faraday, you're up.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I don't know how many shots this Russian revolver. Russian.
Is it on automatic?
Yeah.
I probably have 12 shots in it then.
All right, I'm just gonna fire again.
Yeah.
I hit.
Yeah. So I need special hit location damage.
I'm going to drop foe,
Okay.
and the location is. What's that? I've got a +1 on it. The location is 12.
My endurance roll was 40. So that's all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
12 is in my chest again. It's already at -2.
For
Oh,
2 points.
so that goes down
By
to.
armor.
Oh yes, sorry. Yeah, I forgot you didn't bypass armor, didn't you? No. So yeah, that will absorb by damage. Okay then. So turn 3, I'm up now, aren't I?
Yeah.
Okay, and this, what do you want to play it out or not?
Well, I've
Yes,
got
yes.
at least 2 to go. Yeah, just play it out. It won't
Tar might wake up.
8
No.
minutes. We've only had 30 seconds so far.
Yeah, it won't take long. Probably
so
knowing
this-
your dice rolls. it'll
So
be-
I can attack now, can't I?
Yeah.
So
I
that
can't do anything.
that's 23. So this is hit location 4,
That's left leg.
left leg, and
Yeah.
where's my 2d6? I've done so many dice rolls. It's moved off 2d6 plus 2. Roll. 6 points of damage.
Okay, so that puts my left leg down to 0, but it hasn't got negative.
Okay, then, so you need to make an endurance check against my original roll of 23.
No.
You fail that, so your leg goes down. So as you're fighting, this thing's blasting things off at you, and you sort of like take a shot to the leg and crumple down onto one leg. Your turn to fire.
Am I?
Oh no, 1d3. Yeah, sorry.
One.
And
So
one-
you're getting the attack in.
Yeah, so this is my second attack. 78, which misses. So you can't work on 15, so this would be my final action point attack. But
Yeah.
you can. Do you have any action points left?
No.
Okay, so this is another 72, which misses again. Okay, so now we're back up. I'm just going to play on hit points. So you now can attack back before we
It'll be because it's now gone into another round, so it's going to be you again.
Okay, got you. So this is my first action point being taken up. 66, which will hit. Are you dodging out the way?
I'm in partial cover at the moment, so dodging doesn't really have any effect.
No. Well, you can.
So I'll take the.
Okay, then, no worries. 19, which is probably your head.
Is head.
Yeah. 11 points of damage. You're out of it.
That puts me -5 out of -6.
Oh, so you must make an endurance check against my original roll, which you fail, which means that you take a serious hit and you fall unconscious, and your world turns to black as a black curtain is pulled over your eyes.
See you on the table, guys.
And you slowly fade away, and the adventure comes to an end.
Does it?
Or does it? So, players, what did you think of White Death?
Lived up to its name.
It's lethal. Brilliant. Really good.
Did you figure out what was going on?
Yes.
Go for it then.
Well, I want everybody else to.
Did anybody else figure out what was going on?
Probably not, but my guess is that it's some sort of precursor alien or precursor human race that.
Well, I can tell you.
I think they crashed there. They didn't do it on purpose.
No.
But then they needed to do repairs.
Yeah.
So that they didn't know what to be using and what could be used, and that's why they were taking the information from the scientists. But because they had also never encountered anything before, like us before, they wanted to know more about us. Hence, doing the experiments, etc.
Yeah, so basically the top and bottom of it, the Russians were actually developing a new pathogen that would actually, if it had escaped from here, would have wiped out the majority. It was airborne, so it was lethal. And yeah, the ship had crash landed and it damaged their drive, which was the central thing in the middle. And so they were stealing things from here to get there. However, the research people found the entrance to the ship. If they hadn't have done that, everything would have just carried on fine. But then by going down there, they sort of like set off that there was something, some meddling humans. Just like Chug said, they then got intensely curious about what was going on and was trying to communicate with them. The guy that you shot in the station actually he was the one who had the cine camera and had gone mad about it. There was a person in latrines. Just out of interest, if you remember to the first part, there was an arm behind the stove. If you remember that you had that stove and there was that blood, behind there was an arm that belonged to one of the other researchers. And the interesting thing that I really liked about it, so I put everything in that came. So interesting thing, number one, it says much depends on the character's attitudes to an impossible situation and their levels of how to be determined and try to be resilient. So you could sit tight and wait for rescues. The aliens are more intent on... The aliens would then have gone to the ship that is approaching because that's much more of a threat. You could destroy the ship. You had ammunition to do that. This was an interesting one. You could have actually tried to communicate with the aliens and side with them and almost like take their side with things and then actually attack the ship. You could, like you did, try to kill the aliens and secure the ship. Although for me, seeing the stats, that was
I don't think it was more
To be fair,
securing the ship. I think it was more one. We knew what was happening once we had gone down into it, and then with the head saying that she was still alive, I had then put it that the only person that was left out of the expedition was Tanya.
Yeah, correct.
Who was the lead research. So from my point of view, then it was all about saving the mission, and the way that we would do that would be to take her off with us.
Yeah,
and then
as
that
evidence,
would give us both the answer to the pathogen thing. And so
that would have worked. I mean,
to be fair, once the first shot was fired, it was game over once we were in there.
Yes. You know,
I'm not going to blame Tar.
Just out of interest, there is a fifth option which I thought was really interesting, that you could actually side with the Soviets and actually side with them. So what I didn't want you to think was that the adventure was set up that everybody Kit was dead.
I think it worked well, though.
There was other things that you could have done. I mean, you could have actually survived all those fights as well if you did.
I wanted it to end like the thing, where you sat in the snow, the bottle of whiskey, that last bit of heat, waiting for the.
Yes, yeah. Well, I mean that.
At the end of the day, it was down to dice rolls.
I think
you did all right up until one point as well.
Once you get the thing is, it's not like Mythras where if you get hit, you get healed.
Correct. Yeah.
It's just if you get hit, game over.
It's armor as well, isn't it? I mean,
well, yes. There's no effective armor. I think like there was that option to take things if you wanted anything. So things like I think silencers would have been a wonderful idea. Even if you thought you were going to the research station to
silencers would have been good.
Yeah. I think things like high explosives I mean, you could have dropped you could have rigged the high explosives just in the ship, and then got out and blown it.
I thought of that, and I was thinking, we don't have any with us. We put them in the lab, didn't we?
They were out at strategic points, I think, on the research base.
That's right. Yeah. And then we had no grenades.
No. You did have. There was dynamite, however, in the storage building.
So I take it the 4 centimeter holes in the back of the mess hall. Those were from the plasma.
Correct. Yeah.
They tried to get through the door and got back through from small arms.
And the claw marks that you saw was
that from the polar bear, or was that from them?
It was from them. The polar bear. The polar bear was one of those things that it said. I had a whole load of things that I could use if I wanted to, because it wasn't set up as they go here, they do that, they go there, they go, and that's why I was saying a lot of the time, what would you like to do? So for example, you arrived at the base, checked out one building, and got the generator running and got heat there. Now, as that was happening, other things were still moving. So the aliens were still nicking the stuff from the other generator, while you were doing that. So that put them they were very close to blasting off, and escaping. So, yeah, so I didn't want you to think that there was only one way of doing it. There was a range.
So what you're saying is that Tar killed an innocent head and an innocent polar bear?
Yes.
No, the polar bear was definitely not innocent.
I thought it was good when the polar bear was introduced, because
that was scary as hell.
It was just after we'd seen the back of the barracks with the claw marks on, and then we the lizard men for the first time, and it's almost like, I mean, you could have done it that the the lizard men could have been some type. Well, to be honest with you, and it wasn't until you put the picture up what they looked like that I had envisaged is that it could have been something like some type of futuristic cold weather.
Oh yeah, got you. Yeah.
You see what I mean? Because I find it very hard to sort of like imagine things like that. But
I didn't know whether or not anybody would have used the rotary saw as well. That was as a yeah. So it was an interesting adventure for me to GM because there was no set routine, and that's like a lot of Mythras adventures. It's just sort of like, these are some things you can happen, these are some things that can happen, but it's not like the players funnel the players to here, then to here, then to here. It's just like, right, go for it. So okay, brilliant. I hope you enjoyed playing White Death in 1980.
Can I just say, I love the random characters as well. That was a great touch.
Yeah, and there are some other characters that we could have played, but you had all the skills. So I doubled up some of your skills to make sure that you all had one. So your 4 characters had all the skills that 6 characters would have had. You know, and just to let you know, the aliens would have attacked more in pairs if there was sort of like 6 of you. Yeah, so that it would have changed that. So yeah, if you were watching the stream, I hope you really enjoyed tonight. We will be back with some more Mythras on Saturday at 7 o'clock, when it'll be, oh yes, it's Guarding the Guild Mistress Part 4. And I think, somebody just gone into the sedan chair and seen the...
Yes. So it was in breeches.
Yeah. Oh yes. I remember that because it was quite comical that there was a poison snake in my breeches.
Yeah.
So brilliant.
Like the previous attempt.
Yeah. So yes, I was a bit like, just so you know, whoever put it in chat, I was a bit like, they're bound to get it this time. They're bound to get it this time.
There's a guy carrying a cake, and he's got a little glowing candle that's slowly getting lower.
Yeah, that is with a big candle that is cylindrical and smells of gunfire. So yeah, so if you're watching the stream, thank you very much for coming along. I hope you enjoyed this one-off of White Death 1980s Mythras. We will be back on Saturday with more fantasy, but until then, please remember to be who you are and say what you think, because people who mind don't matter, and the people who matter don't mind. Have fun, and we'll see you on Saturday. And until then, happy role-playing. See you later, people. Bye. Say goodbye.
Bye.
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 This video is sponsored by the Design Mechanism, the makers of Mythras. Mythras is a registered trademark of the Design Mechanism Inc., used with permission. All rights reserved.